Hello and welcome to CXO Talks. Today we are honored to have Mr. Vaidyanathan V, the Chief Information Officer at Unity Small Finance Bank. Thank you for joining us, Vaidyanathan.
Yeah, hi. Happy to be here and happy to share my thoughts.
Let's dive right in. Could you share a bit about your journey and how you came to be the CIO at Unity Small Finance Bank?
Oh, it's been a long story. I've been close to 4 decades in the banking and financial services sector. While my face may not see those 40 years, but lucky to be there. But now I started my career with a Japanese bank in India in the back office, and I learned what computer is doing today manually. I used to do that. So it was quite a challenge in the initial few months, but then I got the hang of it. And then, today I think my knowledge is grounded because of that. So I understand what hell is happening inside the computer and what is it doing. So being there, and I bring in a 360-degree view of the banking and financial services sector. I've been a banker, an IT in banking, and a consultant, a vendor selling software solutions, hardware, software, even vaporware. Vaporware is something that is nice to see on the board, but nothing exists. That's why I coined it vaporware. So I would say these are just promises in the air. And then been lucky enough to be a part of a couple of banks to start with. I was part of the startup team at HDFC Bank. Worked outside of India in Singapore, Melbourne, Riyadh, Dubai, Hong Kong. And that has given me a different perspective of how banks, institutions, and computer companies, and customers, to be specific, what differentiates the customers from one territory to another, and of course the language challenges. And all the countries are a different maturity level. And then, there are very peculiar nuances of each and every country that is there. And so you have to be on your toes all the time to, address those nuances and be in with your best of ideas. Sometimes it's very challenging. Sometimes, you feel great that you got something very easily, but it's a challenge. I mean, being almost close to 40 years now, and then I was doing a consulting assignment in India, got caught to the right side of COVID. I was sitting in my house. Then doing a consulting assignment, and then this got introduced to the key person in Unity Bank through a common friend. Then the discussions happened, and then I took over as the CIO in March 2022. And been an interesting journey because we Unity got the license sometime in October of 2021. We commenced operations on 1st November. Then, funnily enough, we acquired and merged an existing SICK bank, which was in a suspended state for 2.5 years, Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank, by December. And simple parlance, before the baby was born in November, and by the time it could even crawl, and it was asked to run with a sack on its back. So, by Jan, we merged a couple of our parent entities into it, and then we had some, and Unity Bank has a 51% stake with Centrum and 49% with BharatPay. So we had to take some hard decisions about technology because, like I said, the erstwhile PMC, which had around 147 branches, they were in a suspended state, and technology in a suspended state for 2.5 years is as good as dead and buried. We had to take a challenge as to whether we continue with that, and to keep the dinosaur alive, or we had to spend more, maybe few hundred crores, or take a leap of faith and look at newer technologies. And then, so either way, the buck stops with the CIO within a bank as far as any technology is concerned. So even a router fails, the buck stops with the CIO. You can fix it or not is a different question. But the blame or the responsibility comes on the CIO. So we took a conscious decision as being a part of the management. We took a decision to do some fundamental changes, our CBS and some other things. And so far, touch wood, we've been successful till date, and we are expanding. So that's the long and short of where we are today. And here I am, trying to add few cents to people who are listening.
Yeah, that's quite impressive. And, I'm really glad to hear about your extensive experience. So, you were talking about one of the challenges that you are faced with working internationally, which was the language barrier. So, as a CIO, what kind of challenges these days CIOs are facing, especially when it comes to BFSI sector?
See, the challenges of a CIO in a BFSI or in any other sector is almost the same. I can say this with confidence because today anything and everything is dependent on technology. So much so that even in my house, the people, my kids are hooked onto, my wife is hooked onto the internet, and like the Wi-Fi, the router is down for even 2 minutes. There is a hue and cry out there. Similar thing is that. So the technology has a finger in everybody's life on a continuous basis. There is no department in any organization which is as involved on a continuous basis, 24/7 by 365 as a technology unit. And being head of that unit, though the buck stops with me. We don't get pat on our back because it's like oxygen and water. It is taken for granted. It's supposed to be there. But if that oxygen and water is not there, then they start crying, oh my God, such a simple thing as water is not there. It's not tasty. So technology is like that today. Email is down for 10 minutes. And then, everybody starts crying. Wi-Fi is down. Fire on the roof. So I mean, that's a challenge. And to expect pat on your back for something good that you do, it's very hard because the 95% of the people using technology are non-technologists. And the culprits are people like me. I've been a consultant, I've been a vendor, I've been a user. But when we say plug and play, the end user who doesn't understand technology, he takes it in the literal sense. So you think, like I put my plug into the wall socket and my phone charges. So anything and everything is like that. So in a general parlance, in a conference or a seminar or in an open discussion, we'll say, yeah, it's plug and play. It should be doable and all that. So then, but without realizing it's taken as this, it's the God gospel, and then they chase you down. Then they say, you said it's plug and play. It's not working. It has taken 2 months, 3 months. But it's very difficult to make them understand that, everything not plug and play.
It's literally not plug and play.
If you want electricity in your house, all you need, you go and switch on the switch. The light or the fan comes up. But the problem is, when the house was built, there's a lot of wiring that went through, there was a connection that went through, there's a lot of hard work that goes into making these things work seamlessly. Even there are, for example, the easiest thing is, when you walk in, the switch automatically switches on, the light comes off, on, and then goes off when you're off. But there is a work involved in it. And to make it happen, the underground work is humongous. And to keep it going on a sustainable basis, there are people who literally spend sleepless nights. And with the current state of BFSI, where no customer, almost 99% of the customer don't go to the bank. Sitting at your desktop or on your phone, you're doing transaction left, right, and center. And with the advent of UPI, which we are in a very, the leading one in the world, I would say. And so anything and everything happens through a phone. When you pay it, even to a Sabji Wali or a medical store, anything, it's UPI. So, but the problem is, the amount of transaction throughput that it puts through, it creates havoc. It puts tremendous load, and it gives sleepless nights to the management and the CIO. We'll say, oh my God, we should not get a call in the night that the server is down or this has crashed and that has burned.
Yeah. So you were talking about, that background work wherein we are talking about the sleepless nights of the CIOs and the team, the IT team. So what are some of the key technological advancements Unity Small Finance Bank has adopted under your leadership to, create that kind of plug and play?
Listen, we were the last to get the small finance bank license, and there's nothing much of a difference in the small finance bank license and a general license, except that 80% of our lending has to be to the MSME sector. We cannot lend it to the big corporates, unlike the usual commercial banks. But when we took over, like I said earlier also, we had a challenge to either, revive the existing technology, use it, and spend money on it, or come out with something new. The fundamental question always that came to mind is, why should somebody bank with us? What is it that is great? So that answer, there is no difference between bank A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Nothing. Everybody has technology. Everybody has ATM, UPI, mobile banking, internet banking, branch banking. You have hoardings, you have television advertisements. What is the difference then? Why should I bank with the A or B and not bank with C? So the could be a teaser rate, better interest rates, higher FD rates, lower loan rates. These kind of small things. But if you give higher FD rates, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. But then it's a very delicate play. But then, when customer expects something, which is given by some other bank, it has to be there. So we took a conscious decision, like I said, all the things we fundamentally did. We changed our core banking system, which is akin to an ERP in an organization. The bank was running a old school, old age, monolithic 30-year-old system, a very well-known brand in India. We took a conscious decision to change that. That was triggered again by audit by our Reserve Bank, which found a lot of faults with the erstwhile PMC, which they knew. I also knew. It is RBI coming and telling me that Vaidyanathan, you're a Tambram, you're 5 feet 11 fair. I said, I know all that. So what is new? That old banks sunk because of something, and everybody knew about it. So, but to cut it short, we decided that to counter that and to bring in newer technology, we said we don't have our own DCDR. We closed it out. We put it on a managed services model. We put majority of our technology on cloud, and then our CBS, which we replaced. We did a path-breaking work. We went for a digital core. And we implemented it from end to end, start to finish in flat 80 days, and which has never been achieved anywhere in the world. Usually it takes anywhere between 12 to 18 months for a CBS transformation. CBS is a core banking system, and which is the heart of the processing engine, or the heart of the bank, which works at the back, and that's mandatory. Without it you can't. So we did that. We replaced the existing system with a new system in flat 88 days, and the bank was on numerous awards last year, and that's very heartening to see. And then, like I said, the CBS is not on our DCDR, but on a managed services model. And like with any other bank, we have to provide mobile banking, internet. We are doing all that. Of course, we have teaser rates where we give the best FD rates. So from a technology perspective, we are almost close to catching up with the other banks. But like I said, technology, the only constant in technology is change. It keeps changing. It keeps evolving. And if something the other bank gives, they say, oh my God, bank ABCD is giving that. You're not looking at it. Oh, you're outdated. You're far behind. So they have to look at it, whether that technology really does it make sense. How much is the investment going to be? And how soon can you get it up? Do I have the bandwidth, wherewithal, and the capital to do it right away, or we defer it for a quarter or a two? So these are challenging decisions which the management as such, not just the CIO, because CIO is part of the management team. So, and business is again a culprit. They always come with fire below their feet, keep jumping, and they say they want everything overnight. Well, that doesn't happen. Like I said, you have to do the groundwork first. It's akin to asking for the third roof to be built and office to be built on the third roof without making the foundation right. So if I just listen to them and put a pole and put the third roof on that, then the whole building will come crashing down. So that's like, you have to have the fundamentals of technology very well done, and so that I'm able to cope up. Many of the banks are facing the challenge because of the UPI and other things, because the transaction throughput has become, it is through the roof now. There are a lot of cases in the market, which is in the press, where many banks are being penalized by, and cybersecurity is again major challenge. Every transaction because they are sitting with the public money. End of the day, if you want to withdraw, say 100 rupees, and it says, sorry, your balance is nil. Net you would have lost just 100 rupees, assuming. But create so much of Allah Bulla as you've lost lakhs of rupees. The end of the day, it's customers' money, and we to ensure that it's safe. It's available to the customer as and when the customer wants it. Because gone are the days the banking was decided by the banking hours were decided by the banks. Today it's 24/7 by 365. One of the articles in the 97 which I wrote, AAA banking, anytime, anywhere, anyhow. Today in a forum where I was sitting, I was not a speaker at that time, I was listening. So then I realized it's not AAA, it's 4A's, anytime, anywhere, anyhow, by anyone. So I can, debit my account in my bank and credit your account straight away through UPI, which was not possible long time back. And so that's the challenge, And like I said, we are still thinking through what is it that we can do, make a difference between us and the other banks. But other thing that needs to be looked at is tech for the sake of heck. Just because your neighbor is doing, I want to do it. It's not only he'll flag a shirt to have a snob value that, oh, you have it, I'll also have it. So, or a Puma shoe that, you have it, I'll also buy it. Not like that. If it does make sense, and I'll go to give my customer and give us also the edge in attracting and retaining customers, then we need to have the technology in place. Because current time, customers are very flippant. It's like catching fish with oily hands. By the time you have caught two, one would have slipped. So and best example is myself. I'm not a good customer for any bank. I'm the worst customer. Because I don't care a damn whether I'm banking with, that's a logo of a particular bank. No, whichever gives me the best FD rates, highest FD rates and lowest loan rates, I'll go with that. And it's a click of a button on the mobile phone or on your laptop, and you can do anything through that. You don't have to visit anybody. And in fact, the bank comes to your house if you want.
Yeah. So, today is an era where everyone is talking about customer experience. I think I totally agree with you, in fact, that customer experience do matter. And today, as you have also mentioned, that all the banks are ready to come to your place for banking. But I think the most that matters is that what kind of interest, they are paying or they are getting. When it comes to investment, that okay, if they are taking any loan, then what kind of interest they have to pay. If it is less, then it is good. And if it is saving, then what kind of investment, returns they are getting on that.
Yeah, and also the quality of customer service that you get. Are you getting service immediately, promptly, without delaying it too much? Umpteen number of emails being sent up and down or calls being made. One of the most, the biggest irritant could be, which I feel myself, when you make a phone call to a bank, then it says press 1 for English, 2 for this and 3 for that, and then you say press 1. So you are always pressing a number. You're not able to reach to a customer service officer. Already 5 minutes have passed. Whereas if you've directly spoken to a customer service officer, you could have solved the problem in 2 minutes. It could be a very silly thing. But those things, while it's technology, it's a pain point. Technology is adding to the pay. Whereas a customer, hello, Mr. Vaidyanathan, what can I do for you? And you'll say, yeah, I just want to know the balance. What was the particular entry? Yeah, there's a particular entry that you did. You bought this. I said, thank you very much. What? 20 seconds? But if I go through that IVR, they keep pressing button. Then end of the day, they see, so they give you some nonsensical music which you don't want to hear. So, it's not a solution. It's not a panacea for all your problems.
So it's not a kind of a technology which is actually required by the customer, but I think it is required by the businesses because they are saving.
It's a wholesale service.
Money.
Yeah, wholesale service, which technology is one of the key components.
So actually, banks are saving money putting up that kind of technology wherein they don't have to deploy a person to take up the calls.
Yeah, that's right. Tech for heck. Sometimes backfires. And a customer like me will be after you. That's the reason I'm saying if I can satisfy myself as a demanding customer, then I think I can give a good service because it's easy for me to understand the psyche.
Yeah. But it's important to put yourself in the shoe of the other person. Yeah. To understand that. So, as you have also mentioned, with the increased digitization of banking services, cybersecurity remains a top priority. So, what strategies are banks employing to strengthen their cybersecurity posture and protect the customer data from evolving cyber threats?
See, cybersecurity is a top of the mind thing for the banker as well as the regulator. And we are being constantly hounded by this regulator, RBI, to check, audits happen every quarter, sometimes they happen in a very short time frame without notice. So, and for our own benefit, for our own brand image, we need to give the customer the feeling that your money is safe, everything is safe, your data is safe. So investments have to be made. Nothing comes free. And the technology evolves, like I said. And the classic example that I give is, the thief is always ahead of the police. That's the reason the police chases them. It is never a case where the thief chases the police. Because for the thief, it's a livelihood. For the police, his job comes into play when the thief gets into action. So, from that perspective, but we have to think ahead of that. Like, I have to think like a customer. And the techies have to think like a cyber criminal also. What is it that he will think? How will he break in? What will he do? And how can we foolproof it? What is the technology available in the marketplace which is right for our kind of offerings and the services that we are putting in? If we are not giving a particular service at all, investing technology to foolproof that is foolishness. So whatever I'm offering, that should be very safe. So investment in cybersecurity, people now training of the people, having the right resources, right talent pool at all levels, not at the senior most level, but at the junior most level. I mean, the current crop of the cyber criminals are coming up with so innovative things. They just say, if you like it, say, yeah, press 1, otherwise press 2. And that could be a disaster. The money could be wiped out. So education of the customer also. We have to keep telling them, please don't do this, warn them. There have been cases where even very senior police officers have been cheated. So cybersecurity is a non-negotiable thing. I mean, it's absolutely a must. And that's on top of the agenda. Ensure that we meet almost all of the demands set by the RBI, because RBI keeps coming with the regulations, and we meet in various forums. The bankers, we have WhatsApp groups and all that, where we learn from each other's experience, exchange notes, exchange ideas, try to understand what the other bank is doing. So it is not that, something happens in my bank, I keep it to my heart, I don't discuss it. I don't. But that doesn't happen, because I have to ensure that if I share that same thing should not be repeated with my fellow banker, other bank. That was a discussion even last week I had, and everybody said we should share our notes and ensure that we are there together to fight this cyber criminals. And they will keep coming with new ideas, and you have to be on your toes, coming with maybe a step ahead of them all the time. It's a tough ask, but educating our own tech team, our own bankers, and all that, because one small error, it can become huge. That's the problem.
So is it that it's a hindrance in the path of innovation?
The RBI guidelines sometimes, yes, but it is necessary, you have to work around it and with it. Because if RBI says you have to have these things in place, you need to have it. And you cannot cut cost. You cannot try to save money by not doing it, because RBI will come back at you and will bite you. Is it we give you an option to implement it, you will look at it. So then the license becomes at risk. So there is no way that you say, no, I don't want to spend, I will delay spending in this particular technology on the cybersecurity. Because what is in today is outdated tomorrow. So you have to keep pace with changes. And I know you have to educate yourself and say what is happening in the marketplace. Like I said, you have to meet your fellow bankers in the community and understand. And not only techies from the banking fraternity, even the financial services and other cross industries also. I mean, Amazon does financial transactions. Amazon is not a bank. Flipkart is not a bank, but they do a lot. So a lot of things that they do, it's a learning for us also. And we have to keep monitoring our offerings and our technology stands, whether it is absolutely correct. Is there a gap? It's not that once you've implemented something, will take care of you for the next 10 years. That's not going to happen.
No,
it's our tools all the time.
In a sense, regulatory authorities like RBI are actually helping in building up a strong cyber resilience.
Yeah, that was their duty. They are doing their duty. Last time they can be unreasonable and they can come up with funny ideas like make a donkey and a horse and produce an elephant. But you have to play with them and then make them understand that's not possible. But their duty is that. And because if RBI doesn't do that, then it will be chaos. So we have to work with them at the central agency, be it the RBI in India or MAS in Singapore or the central agency anywhere. That's their duty. That's their role. They have to, because they're sitting with public funds.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were talking about the IT landscape at Unities presently, and AI, like we, all of us know, has taken industries by storm. So technologies like AI and blockchain, these are very exciting kind of technologies. So can you give some example of the usage of these frontier technologies at Unity?
I can talk about these technologies, but not about Unity because we're still far away from it. Because we are still just 2 years old. We're just a 2-year-old bank. Like I said, we're still busy building the foundation, getting it strong. And and from a generic perspective, AI, generative AI, it is catching up. It is not caught up. There's a long way to go before it is in mass and everybody is using it and getting mass benefits. And every discussion that you go through a forum and you come across that, yes, it will happen, but it will never replace a human being. But mundane tasks, repetitive tasks, and regular tasks where things can be done faster, better, with least error. And, for example, sanctioning a loan or opening an account and all this, which customer can himself do through AI. Those things will happen. But where it can't help it, like I said, the classic example of the IDR menu. I'm not comfortable. So I should give the customer the choice to, talk to a customer service officer and see, there'll be no day AI will replace human being, because the problem with the humans is we are predictably unpredictable. We behave differently at different times, and maybe at the same time in the same situation in a different place. So I mean, it's just not a possible or a right to expect a human being to. That's where we score above them, above and AI or something. But we need to have these technologies so that whatever it is can be automated, can't be made through AI, robotics, and all that, and that has to be done. That will be done. It will catch up much faster than what other technologies caught up. But today, as we speak, from a general perspective, a lot of discussion happening around it, a lot of trial and error, and blockchain has taken a backseat. But it may pop up again. But nothing much is happening. I haven't heard personally. Maybe I haven't kept a tab on it. But as I see today and the last discussion, it might pop up again and maybe see that. But AI, generative AI, both are.
Gen AI has significantly improved fraud detection capabilities, I guess.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And there's always a flip side of that. There's always an investment required. There's money to be spent. And, the usual feeling in the board is, the tech guys always come with asking for tech toys to be.
Yeah. So these are all expensive technologies, you mean to say?
Yeah, but, end of the day, it has to make business sense. And the customer has to get benefited. Like I said, not just for the heck of it. Like I said, Bank ABCD is doing, I'll also do it. But do I need it? Do my customer need it? And does it make sense? Is it viable? I don't want to make any money out of it. So, and a Hindi way of saying, kya fayda? So, that's the question I have to answer.
Yeah, sure. So, what are your tech priorities, say, in 2024 and beyond?
The priority remains at addressing the channels and the areas where the customer interaction is there, and mobile, internet, our other banking as a service, and our technology that we have implemented. They should become error-free, smooth, and then look at the technologies which are coming up around the bend, or others have implemented, which I can implement and maybe take a leap. For example, simple thing would be, every bank has a mobile banking app. So, and you get to use what is given to you. It doesn't give the customer the flexibility to customize it to his taste. So, a personalization front, for example. One of the things, again, is a hyper-personalization. A loan to suit my requirement versus your requirement. Kadna might need a different type of interest, a different loan. Well, it could be a small thing, but it is fine-tuned to... it's like making a dal for you and dal for me. But I want it with more salt and more pepper, and you don't want with more salt. So that hyper-personalization will happen. That's going to be the need of the hour to attract and retain customers. Like I said, everything is dependent on customers. If the customer is not coming to you, I'm not making money. So customer is the king, and he will remain the king. So everything will go around the customer. But from a tech perspective, my customer are twofold. Is the user in the bank is also my customer. The business user is my customer, and the end customer is also my user. So I have to address both these guys and keep them happy, which is a very, very tough ask. But we have to strive towards that.
Yeah, striking a balance is very important.
You cannot bluntly say no. I say, let me try. And see, let's have a discussion. Let's have to make it nice and see whether it's feasible. If it's feasible, yes, do it. No problem.
Sure. So before we wrap up, do you have any advice for aspiring CIOs in the banking sector?
Yeah, one of the things, whether it's a CIO or a senior or a junior or middle guy or technology is constantly changing. It's mind-boggling. Like I said, my son turning around on the table and he said, "Oh, Dad, you're old school. It's a newer technology." And my wife has to remind him that, "No, your father is a CIO, don't talk nonsense." So we have to keep ourselves educated. We have to have a tech team which is constantly trained up to the mark. And similarly, keep an eye on what is happening in the marketplace and technology that will be useful to you as an organization. And, there are people who are very comfortable with the technology. There are banks which have kept the technology alive for 30 years or something. And sometimes you have to take a leap of faith, gut feel, and take a jump and change the technology. And nothing is plug and play. Let me be blunt. I would not take that word back. It's not plug and play. A lot of hard work goes into it, a lot of sleepless nights. And the tech guys Sometimes the CIO walks away with the what, but the actual work is done by his team. And I'm really proud of the team that I've been with in various banks. And, keep yourself educated, keep an eye on what is happening, and please share information between organizations, as one big organization, not just saying something happens, I have to keep it to myself. And not just in India, there's a lot of things that are happening globally also. You have to keep an eye on that, if that can be implemented. Like I said, end of the day, bank A, B, C, D, E, F, G, there's no difference. We're coming back to the old school. The best bank to bank with is the one nearest to your house or your place of work. You can walk in. You can say hi to somebody. Kalpana is a manager there. And hi. So before I can say yes, Mr. Vaidyanathan, what can I do for you? So that's a very pleasing thing.
Yeah. So it's all about to stay curious and keep learning, and then
and keep pace with changes in the marketplace. You should not be left behind, far behind that technology is engulfs and you're caught pants down. That shouldn't happen. And then you evaluate a technology on its merit, and then see it makes sense, it is viable, it's feasible, it's profitable, it makes business sense. End of the day, it's business sense. So because gone are the days when technology was just an enabler. There are areas where business gets extra revenue because of technology. Technology is an equal partner there. And we don't say no just because we want to say no. At least I don't do that. But business thinks, no, he's throwing a technology jargon. That's not the way to do it. That's not what we do. Some might do. There is always bad apples, but generally nobody does it, because there's a lot of work that happens, and you have to think through. Just knee-jerk reaction to a problem will create another problem. And then you're firefighting, you're dousing one fire, then another fire is on, then you're running around in circles.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Vaidyanathan. This has been an insightful session, and we appreciate
it so much. I hope it makes sense to the audience and they're able to pick up some little bit of my 2 cents.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you and sharing your experience.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good day.
Bye.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.